afternoon, this is TTT Live, Talk City 91.1 FM and TTT Live online on Facebook. I'm Dike Rostant with your TTT News Update. PNM political leader and Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley arrived at the Point Kumana Regional Complex around 10:30 this morning with much fanfare to file his nomination papers as PNM's candidate for Diego Martin West for the upcoming general election. Crystal Wilson was there and filed this report.
Here in Trinidad and Tobago, we just left the Point Kumana Regional Complex where Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley and other candidates for the Diego Martin West constituency have filed their nomination papers. We've chatted with each of the candidates. All of them are expressing confidence of victory at the polls come August 10th. We'll have more on this in our newscast later. For TTT News, I am Crystal Wilson.
After filing his papers, Dr. Rowley took time to address what has been dubbed as racially slurred comments made by the UNC political leader on a virtual platform on Thursday.
Mrs. Kamala Prasad-Bissessar has been leading a quiet racial campaign for a very long time, and then she came out openly. There are very many occasions when you in the media would have seen her accusing me of being in the pockets of the 1%. That was an attack on the Syrian community, and then trying to divide us along racial and ethnic lines. And then you would have seen her when that didn't work, she went one step further. She called me an Oreo. I mean, that was an insult to a black man. I've always maintained that I'm a proud black man.
And in case you missed what sparked the Prime Minister's response to the opposition leader, Kamala Prasad-Bissessar, during a virtual political meeting on Thursday night, she had this to say.
I know that some people are concerned. And in fact, the black man on the other side.
As the black man on the other side, and this clip was in circulation on Facebook. During her speech, she made several references to the blank man. However, social media users were divided on whether she referred to the Prime Minister as a blank man or black man in the particular video clip. On his Facebook page, the Prime Minister said in response that the opposition leader had been caught in her frequent disgusting race baiting. She added that she is reduced to the repeating inane rubbish to try and lie her way out. He asked if anyone was surprised. The 3 new confirmed COVID-19 cases have been reported. The Ministry of Health says the 3 returning nationals are from a group who recently returned from Grenada. All cases, that's 4 of them, are imported, and the Ministry assures all established protocols are being implemented. What this means is that the total number of cases reported to date is 136. The 4 patients are being treated at the Cora Hospital. In other news, on July 18, 1995, the previously dormant Soufriere Hills volcano became active, with eruptions destroying a significant portion of the island of Montserrat, including the capital city of Plymouth. 25 years later, minus a day, and we are speaking with the current director, Dr. Adam Stinton, and Vita Wade, the education and outreach coordinator of the Montserrat Volcano Observatory, which is a fully staffed observatory and the official source for the latest information about the MVO and the Soufriere Hills volcano. So good afternoon, Dr. Stinton. Good afternoon, Ms. Wade. How are you?
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for having us.
Good afternoon. Doing very well, thank you.
Very glad to hear. Now, I'll ask, as many people do, what is the current status of volcanic activity? I'll ask you, please, Dr. Stinton.
At this moment in time, the volcano is reasonably quiet. We're experiencing a handful of earthquakes a week, on average sort of 1 per day. And we're also experiencing or seeing somewhere in the region of 100 to maybe 500 tons per day of sulfur dioxide gas being emitted by the volcano. And we're also seeing a little bit of inflation of the volcano itself and across the island too. But on the whole, the level of the activity is very low.
Very good to hear. Now, Ms. Wade, in terms of the fact that next week we were supposed to be getting into the 25-year on scientific conference, I'm wondering what has this week been, because we've seen posting and we've seen live videos happening. So what has this week been like in terms of observing the 25 years on?
Well, it's been a really sort of community collaborative effort with the MVO leading with some science talks, engaging local scientists and international experts, technical staff that have been involved throughout the 25 years of volcanic activity, and those who've been seeing on the MVO Live Facebook. But we've also been experiencing a lot of storytelling and a lot of reflection and various perspectives across the entire island. And it's also been the Calabash Festival on Montserrat as well. So there's been a lot of sort of cultural balance within all of that. Where are we now as a community? And so it's been interesting. It's been quite dynamic. Tomorrow there's going to be a virtual reality experience of our buried city. We've also seen the Mountain Aglow exhibition, which is a very interactive storytelling experience that people can actually go to see at the Montserrat National Trust. So there's been various different ways, from prayer and reminiscence to actual very interactive discussion.
Ms. Wade, you spoke about being reflective, a period of reflection, and I want to jump off on that point and go to you, please, Dr. Stinton, because there was a period of lockdown on the island of Montserrat. How did that affect the monitoring processes with regard to SHV?
Overall, it didn't really affect our monitoring capabilities that much. We have a large number of instruments that are out in locations around the volcano, and they are all controlled from the observatory via radio links. And so during the lockdown on Montserrat, all our staff were working from home, and we were able to remotely log into our monitoring equipment through the observatory from home. So the only really issue we had was if any instruments were to go down or to stop working, and then we wouldn't be able to get to them to be able to fix them. But overall, it wasn't too much of an issue. We have the monitoring system here is highly automated. So there's a lot. We have a series of automated alerts if there's any sort of increase or change in the number or types of earthquakes that occur, and various other issues. So overall, it wasn't too much of an impact in terms of our work.
Good to hear. No, I'm not sure who to throw this question to, but one of the things that sees visitors coming to Montserrat is the steady flow of scientists as well as visitors to the Montserrat Volcano Observatory. What has the process or what has interaction been with the scientific community outside of Montserrat during this time?
Well, primarily because of the lockdown and the regional and international travel restrictions, we've had no visitors to Montserrat, either tourism or scientific visitors at all since March. But we continue to collaborate with colleagues in the United Kingdom, in the United States, and of course at the Seismic Research Center in Trinidad, through video conferencing and obviously through other online platforms. So although there's been no physical visits of scientists to the island, we're still continuing to work with our colleagues overseas.
Okay, no, as we said before, the 25-year On Scientific Conference has been delayed. Can you give us any updates on what are the next steps for that? And I'll also ask, what are some of the projects that you have on the horizon, just waiting for things to subside a little bit? I'll ask you, Ms. Wade.
Yeah, well, the SHV 25, which is the Spray Hills Volcano Conference, that was scheduled to happen this year, has been postponed, as we know. And just today, we've released the new date for this conference for next year. So it's going to be the 12th to the 16th of July. And we're looking forward to seeing, hopefully we've passed the pandemic and been open again for travel. So we're looking forward to seeing some of our Caribbean brothers and sisters coming to visit us here to celebrate this milestone, as well as members of the scientific community. And for us, we're going to be doing a number of outreach efforts on the back of the release of the Mountain Aglow website. And I would suggest that any one of our listeners look at that. It's mountainaglow, aglow.com. And it's a really wonderful interactive timeline and sort of cultural and story of the history of the volcano of the past 25 years. Lots of audio, video, and old newspaper clippings. Fantastic resources for education in terms of our teachers and the community as to how do we live with an active volcano now that it's no longer growing a dome or no longer eruptive, but we still need to keep that presence in terms of education and outreach. So fantastic resource that all of us in the Caribbean and abroad should really follow through.
And we thank you so much, Ms. Wade, as well as Dr. Stinton from the Montserrat Volcano Observatory for your time. And I'm not sure if to say happy anniversary tomorrow, but at the same time, our thoughts are with you. And remember, you can join us for live coverage on TTT, Talk City 91.1 FM, Sweet 100.1 FM, Next 99.1 FM, as well as on Facebook at TTT Live Online for all your updates. Thank you for joining us. On behalf of the crew, I'm Dike Rostant. Bye for now.